This is James Lucton for Round 8 Boxing. Delighted to join with Wyatt Sanford. Wyatt, how are you, sir?
Oh, doing good, doing good.
Good stuff. Thanks for joining me today. We're going to go through a little bit of your boxing journey. So I always like to start from the beginning. Take me back to your first day in a boxing gym. Do you remember it well?
Oh, geez, not well. About 16 years ago now. But no, it was good. My buddy got me and my brothers into it and fell in love with it and been going ever since.
Is that the reason why you went? Just because a friend sort of went and they dragged you along?
Basically, that's kind of how we started. I've always played a lot of sports, same with my brothers. And then when he asked if we wanted to go to the boxing gym with him, we were like, yeah, let's do that one as well.
What was it about boxing? Obviously, you say that you've done quite a few different sports. What was it about boxing that made you stay there? Because a lot of kids go to the boxing gym. As soon as they get punched in the face, that's it, game over, never come back again. Why did you go back, Wyatt?
For me, I don't like getting punched in the face, but at the same time, I don't care. So it's like there's always that happy medium where I find some people they like getting hit in the face. It's not good. If you don't like getting hit in the face, it's not good. But for me, it was always uh, I like competing. I'm a very competitive guy, um, in absolutely everything. Whether it's playing card games, just fooling around, I'm a very competitive guy. And that boxing, it's one on one. It's who is the best and who's going to be better tonight. And that's one of the things that always appealed to my interest.
You mentioned that it's one-on-one, man versus man. Is that something that you liked as well compared to team sports? Do you like the individuality of it?
I like the individuality of it. There we go. Um, but and for me, boxing, it's still kind of a team. It is kind of still a team sport because you got the coaches, you got the staff, you got guys analyzing, getting the game plan, physios, massage, strength and conditioning. So we're still a big team. But when it comes down to the actual competition, it's just you. And that's what I like. Where I find a lot of team sports, and I've played a lot of team sports. I still and absolutely love playing team sports. But I find I get more uh, angry during team sports than I do in boxing. In boxing, if I make a mistake, it's my fault, and I have no one to blame but myself. And where the team sports, if a teammate makes a mistake that you think you could have done, then it's more on that mental side. So that's the boxing. It's for me is I don't dwell on my mistakes. I it happened, can't change it. I keep going, and that's where it's for me. That's what I like about it.
Yeah, absolutely. You can control your controllables. I want to just touch on your answer about it still being a team sport, essentially, because you're the first person in the last nearly 10 years I've been interviewing boxers that has said, no, it is still a team sport because of the coaches and your team around you. Talking about your team and your coaching setup, and you mentioned all the others, the analysis, the masseurs, etc. How important and vital is a boxer's team?
For me, the boxing team is just as important as the boxer. And if you watch any interviews I've done in the past, I will always mention my team and thank my team. Without my coach, the number one Vince Leclerc, I probably wouldn't be boxing today. Like it's that for me, it's that big of an impact that the team around you is what builds you and it makes you strong. When you think about it and you think it's an individual sport or all of that, you're putting all the heat on you, and but you're putting the blame on everybody else because you think you're always doing it right. And where I know I make mistakes, and I know I'm to blame, and the team could have a perfect game plan execution for a fight, and I might not do it, and that's not to put the blame on them for a bad game plan. That's on me for not executing. So the team around where we have a great game plan, okay, and we need great footwork and explosiveness. Well, that strength and conditioning, we're going to do weights that are explosive. We're going to do some footwork drills in the gym for the cardio. Like there's things. Then you got your physio making sure if there's any minor injuries, you're still able to train and perform. Like everybody has a significant role in the trainings and in the fight. So for me, it's definitely a team sport.
Oh, absolutely. Um, just to touch on that as well, you mentioned there, see the game plan, etc. And see if you don't execute it, it's not on you, on the fighter. I always get a bit frustrated when I see fighters who may take a first professional defeat after maybe 25, 30 fights and then leave their coach of a long time after just one defeat. And for me, it's almost a little bit of a cop out. Is that how you see that as well? Because, like you say, it's everyone there. It's not just they've done it, so I've got to leave them because it was a bad game plan. Like you say, the fighter's not executed it in the ring.
And that's how I feel. Like I've had Vince in my corner now for the last couple of years. I've lost with him. I've won with him. And at the end of the day, even if we lose a fight, we still might have executed the game plan great. It's just weren't as good that night as our opponent. And you know what? That's life, and that happens. But you can't put the blame and leave your coaching because of one bad performance. Like you said, everybody has an off night. Everybody everybody has nights where they're just not 100%. And if you take that accountability, in my opinion and my experience, the trainings and the overall performances throughout the years will get better when you're also taking accountability for what's happening.
Definitely. I just want to talk about your amateur career. Obviously, you had a great Olympics most recent, but before the Olympics, talk about your amateur career. What were your highlights of your amateur days?
So for me, it really started when I went back to 60, well, 3.5. There in 2018, I got moved up to 69 kilos and was not a great experience. Not awful. Still able to get to top 16 at the World Championships in Russia. Ended up losing to the gold medalist, which actually qualified me for the Tokyo Olympic Games. And then after Tokyo, when we decided to go back down to 63.5, I've medaled in every competition I've done since Tokyo at this weight class. So we ex, ex, excelled at 63.5, got the continental bronze for the Pan Ams at 69 kilos. I lost my first fight at the Pan Am qualifiers, didn't even get to go. And then switching down to 63.5, got silver at the qualifier. My coach, Vince, he's there. He goes, "Look, you're getting lots of bronzes. We need to change that bronze in for a silver or a gold." And so the Pan Am qualifier, I ended up getting silver. And then at the Pan Am Games, we were able to bump it up and get gold for Pan Ams. So it was so definitely great experience throughout the last few years, even before Paris.
Absolutely. And let's come on to Paris to see the Olympic Games. It was a a fantastic result for yourself, not just for you personally, but for the country as well, especially in boxing. Just talk to me about the whole experience of that.
A great experience. Absolutely loved the atmosphere. Like that's one thing that a lot of people won't ever get to experience is that atmosphere, and it's absolutely electrifying. And one of this is going to sound weird to a lot of people. When I was fighting France, walking into that ring, that walk, and you got that whole arena going and making a ton of noise. It really gets you amped up. Like the whole experience of Paris was just phenomenal.
What's that like? You mentioned there was see coming into almost doing a ring walk and in the lion's den essentially when you're fighting against France as well. What was that experience like when you sort of feel the crowd and does it set you up nicely for your professional career experiencing a crowd like that?
For me, the bigger the crowd, the more eyes watching, the more I want to perform. It's like okay, like let's show everybody that what we're capable of doing. We've put the time in at the gym. Now let's really show it off. And and for me, as like having that big arena having that noise in the eyes, like it really it just brings you to the best that you can be. And we like to train like that as well. It was funny because the two trainings we did before we fought France, my coach got the noise of when Sofiane fought of the crowd, and that was my music while training. Was listening to the crowd while he fought. So we got a little amped up during the trainings before the fight.
I love that. Um, Going into your sort of your medal fights, semi-finals, etc. Heading into knowing that, and correct me if any of this is wrong. So I believe you were the first Canadian boxer to medal at the Olympics for about 28 years, I think it was.
Yeah.
Did you feel any pressure knowing that you could medal?
I felt no pressure. Honestly, I didn't know how good I was going to do because I had a ruptured tendon in my hand. So me even going was a question. It's like we weren't sure if we were actually going to go or not because of my hand. Where I wasn't from Pan Am Games up until like mid-Mayish. I wasn't even really training because I couldn't throw a punch. And then at one point, my coaches are like, "All right, we're getting too close. We kind of gotta start using it, whether it's painful or not." So we tried minimizing the amount that we were doing and the pain. So for me, there was no pressure. Just being there and trying to do my best was good. But definitely after getting the medal or after winning the quarterfinal fight, absolutely no pressure. Job was done. We got the medal. Definitely wish it was a different color, but still super happy with it.
You mentioned there you went in with an injury there. You say that the closer it got, the more you started working with the hand and seeing what the pain was like, if it was bearable, etc. How was the pain during the Olympics?
Not good. I spent hours a day with my hands in ice, basically up almost to my elbow, just trying to freeze my hand and take all the oh, excuse me, trying to take all the swelling and pain and just freezing it. We talked about actually freezing my hand before fighting so I wouldn't feel it. But for me, that just seems worse because the second it unfroze, be a lot of pain. Um, Definitely happy we didn't make it too much worse. It got worse during the competition. Um, but pain wise, I told my coaches going in, it's like it's hard to put myself in pain during training. I was like, but when it comes to fighting, and it's either I put myself in pain or get punched in the face, I will most likely put myself through pain.
But you obviously get into the Olympics and just to be there, as you mentioned earlier, that for a lot of amateur fighters is the pinnacle. You know, the Olympic Games is the end goal for amateur fighters. Does that mean that the decision to go, even though you was injured and in a lot of pain, was that decision still easy to go for you?
For me, it was still very easy to go. Um, and for that, in my opinion, that is the highest of highs. There's no picking opponents. There's no okay, we fight today, wait another 4 months and fight again. It is you're fighting the best back to back days, and it doesn't matter who or what happens. But for me, it was a very easy decision to still go. I know, I believe we left on the 9th of July for the training camp. And on the 4th of July, the surgeon asked me if I could get surgery before we go because I should not fight with my hand. And he told me if I did fight, I might lose the function of my thumb. Still a very easy decision to still go. Um, but for me, it's not just because of that level of competition. Um, for me, it's I got a great community and a lot of supporters here, and I know there's a lot of young ones that look up to me, coming from such a small town. And for me, it's I want to show that okay, this is able to happen to anybody out here. So you need to go for it. And just me being in a little bit of pain, I don't think uh, should side the me being able to be inspire or give young ones hope. So if and that was me as like if me putting myself in pain can inspire a few young ones to go and chase their dreams, then so be it.
No, definitely. Um, what was that feeling like when you stepped onto that podium? Although it wasn't the colour you wanted, it was still a medal. It's still better than a lot of guys did when they entered the Olympics. How did that feel standing on that podium and having that medal around your neck?
Felt absolutely amazing. Just walking in, knowing that years and I mean years of hard work has paid off. It's not a gold medal, but it's still a huge achievement. And still, at the end of the day, the goal is getting a medal at the Olympics. I think if you set your goals to be number one all the time, um, you might find yourself reaching and falling. For me, I like setting a little bit smaller goals and going above and beyond. So getting that medal, stepping on the podium, actually feeling the weight of the medal around the neck was absolutely phenomenal.
What meant more to you, that Olympic bronze or the Pan Am gold?
So I the Olympic gold or the Olympic bronze meant more because it's been such a long time for Boxing Canada to get a medal. And now I'm hoping that we don't wait another 28 years to get one. But the Pan Am gold for me was more emotional. And that's which a lot of people might not understand or might not ever feel is when you're standing on top of the podium and there's an arena listening to your national anthem because of something you've achieved is uh, is a really heartfelt moment.
I can only imagine. Um, Obviously, a great achievement in the Olympics. You mentioned there, first boxer in 28 years to win a medal, an Olympic medal for Team Canada in boxing. That cements your name in Canadian boxing history. How proud does that make you?
It makes me super proud, super happy to be on a board with a bunch of greats. Boxing for years in Canada did absolutely fantastic, and to carve my name in with some of the legends is awesome. Super happy, super proud of myself for being able to do it.
Absolutely. Professional debut's fast approaching. It should have happened already by now. It was postponed a little bit. Just talk about that and having to overcome that sort of frustration already so soon into your pro career.
Well, for me, I don't like to dwell on things I can't change. For me, it makes my life a lot happier when when I'm not dwelling on stuff I just have no control over. But it's been going good. The training for this fight is basically instead of a 6 week training camp for the first one, we're just doing a 10 week training camp for the first one again. So definitely feeling good, getting ready. I wish it was in Montreal on that show. That was a phenomenal show. But I'm also super happy that we're able to do this. My pro debut is a little bit closer to home. We're only a 3.5, 4 hour drive from my hometown. And I know there's already going to be a few people from here making the drive down to watch. So.
How does that make you feel when you know your little fan base is coming along to watch it and driving 3.5, 4 hours just to watch you? How does that make you feel?
Makes me feel really good, and it makes me want to really perform the best that I'm able to do. I'd like to give them their money's worth and their time worth. I know the last couple of the times I fought in New Brunswick over the last couple of years on amateur card shows. I think I'm 3 for 3 with 3 stoppages. So it's nice when the fans from my hometown get to come down because it gives me a little bit more of a okay. Let's put on a really good show and make it special.
No, definitely. You come across to me. This is the first time I've spoken to you, Wyatt, and you come across as a very positive person. Someone with a very positive outlook on life and your career. So I'm going to ask you, let's fast forward, say, I don't know, 20, 25 years. Looking back on your career, you're retired now. What do you want your legacy to be known as and left as?
I just want it to be left as I gave everything I could every time. There'll never be a fight or something where 100% of me wasn't in it. It's for me that's what I really want is for anybody they go on YouTube, pull up any one of my fights and say, okay, win or lose, he gave it absolutely everything he had. And I think if I'm able to do that, hopefully it'll inspire, like I said, some of the younger ones to maybe choose that same path. Maybe not the same spots, but choose the same. Okay, let's give it everything we got every time. So as long as that's how it is in 25 years when I'm all done, I'll be happy.
Absolutely. Well, that's it from me. I want to thank you very much for your time and all the best of luck for the debut coming up as well.
Awesome, thank you.
No worries.